Hello, and welcome back to Skull and Bones. Right, because of the recent patch, we have got to do an update on the admin and food video. Not so much because of the admin, that's all the same. We're going to do a little bit more on that today, though, because there was a bit I missed last time, but then I was answering two questions. That's primarily where that video came from. And one of them questions, I've got to re-answer it because, well, I answered it then because he was on about how do I mitigate the damage. But that's no longer possible because they've removed the mitigation part of that part of the food. They've changed it. It works differently now, but we can talk about that. It's kind of a nerf. It's not quite as effective as it was before, but it's not all bad. You know, it still works. It's just not as good. That's all. So it's a nerf, no matter how you look at it. It's not game ending or anything like that, though. It still works. It's just doesn't work as much. But we'll talk about more about that beforehand. Before we do that, though, let's get into the admin part of it. So we'll just quickly go into interface, because one thing I didn't cover last time was customer ship interface. Now this customized user interface, yeah, what's the time? It's 20 to 5, so yeah, it's early in the morning, give us a chance. Right, let's go to this. So we've got the hub. These are all stuff that some of these aren't turned on. Now this, I believe, when you get it on auto. I switched it to always show, and the reason I want it to always show is because if this is a player ship here and this one here is an AI ship, and that shows you obviously we want the behaviour, so we can see when they're going to attack you, when they're scanning you, when they're suspicious of you. You'll get all that as an indicator. You don't have to necessarily spyglass them to see it. And players as well. Status effects, very handy. This is where you can tell for the ships whether you've got flooding. This icon here, I don't know if you can see that, but that's your crew attack. That's the one I particularly pay attention to crew to, especially if I'm in Binky, because it's generally set up for crew attack. And also you can see if the players are running buffs as well. So in PvP, that's very handy to have because you can see roughly what buffs they've got running. So if you can counter them or not. Another one is a name label. That's a general one. Distance from the target, very handy. It pops up, so you've got the name broadside, and then just beside it you've got 116 meters there. And the same for the player ship. In fact, they are both AI ships on this one. Yeah, but it works with players as well. Ship info on off, and there was another one which is very important, which I don't know that is actually turned on when you get the game. Let's see if I can find it. I'm sure it's in this bit. Oh yeah, compass. Very important for navigating the seas. So if you know roughly where you are, you're in the middle of two ports, and it's one's to the east, one's to the west, and you know which way you need to go into. Not only that, a lot of if your ship sinks, your loot will pop up on this bar. It's not always obvious. Sometimes you still got to mark it. It's when you're fighting a boss, it overtakes the compass, so you can't see the compass. So yeah, I kind of hope they get sorted that set up. You waste a little bit of time in that. I mean, that cutscene, I don't even know why we've got it. I understand in the docks because we're getting onto the ship, but once we've respawned, I don't get that. It's not like we're redock. It's just a respawn. It's horrible wasted time, in my opinion. And that was pretty much it for the admin. It's only going to be a quick video today, but I figured if we're going to do an update, then I might as well include these pieces, especially these few here under ship display. Ship behaviour, ship status, very very important, those for me anyway, because you like to know what's going on, especially in PvP. Then the ship's status will definitely be important, and as far as the AI is concerned, especially if you're trying to avoid what they're doing and their behaviour, so when they're disengaging it or engaging or getting suspicious of you, so you know whether you either move closer if you want to get the aggro, or you can move away slightly. And then this icon will generally have a yellow, and it'll just fade away, and then it'll go white. In fact, it's yellow for me because I'm in colourblind mode still. So, but obviously it's red on there, so I'm guessing it fades maybe into white or something. But that will fade away. At the moment, he's in an attack stage. He would be attacking this ship here, for instance, with that as it is. Right. So let's move out of that. That's that's done for the admin, I think. Now we need to look at the food, because the food has changed. So if we go into it, we can see all of the foods, and we go to the one we generally use, which was between You're not in there. Where are you? There you are. No, it's not, 'cause we're in the wrong party donut. There you go. That's the one we generally use, and the reason we use this was because this one used to be increased mitigation. It's now brace strength. There is no mitigation anymore. That's a passive mitigation, whereas this, as you have to engage the brace to get anything back from it. Now it's also been reduced to 10%. Well, I say it's been reduced to 10%. This is a new number, because this is a whole new perk. So it's not like it's been reduced, it's just been set at 10%. They will probably adjust that over time, whether, you know, as tests go on, I suppose. I don't know. I'm hoping they're going to increase it. So this was the one I generally used to use. Don't use that one quite so much anymore. In fact, I'm trying to get rid of it. But if we move to, there is another one, where I am. Right, there's the monster food. Yeah, that used to be 30% brace mitigation. It's now increased brace strength by 20%. So basically, when your shield is up, so when you're bracing, you have that shield. That's your brace strength. The shield is the brace strength. That can be depleted. That's the problem with the way it's done now. Is this 20% only works as long as you have that shield. When that shield's off, you're getting no damage reduction in any way, not like you used to. The other one, it used to be passive, so whether you braced or not, you used to get the 20%, or in fact on this one it used to be 30%. This one it used to be 20%, but now we get 10%. That's fine. I think that's going to work very well on the snow and the brig, because they have very good brace strength as it is. I'm not so sure about the lower ships. I did go into the twins the other day, and yeah, not sinking was very difficult. What I can say, yeah, because once you've run out, and those torpedoes take down your brace strength very quickly. In which case, this part of the food is no longer no good until you can get that shield reactivated, in other words, built back up. That's what I say. With the snow, not so bad, because that builds it up really quickly. It's going to be a bit of a struggle with other ships though, but I'm guessing the reason it was set at that kind of number was possibly because of the snow and maybe the Hulk. Because I said the brig earlier, I don't know why. The Hulk, because they both have decent brace strength, but the trouble is with the snow, it recovers it really quickly, so you can get it back. So this food is going to be still good for things like the monsters and things like that if you're using a snow build. I'm not sure quite how it's going to work with the rest of them, because their brace strength is quite low as it is anyway. So yeah, it's doing a similar job, it's just doing it in a different way, and it's not going to be as effective because it's not passive, it's not all of the time. So when you hit that buff and you get the buff for half an hour, you're not getting that reduction for half an hour. You're getting it only when you brace, and only if you have the brace strength. Once the brace strength is depleted, that's gone. So yeah, there's more factors to work into it. I think they did put on the patch notes as they wanted more interaction with this particular perk. Personally, I think it's all linked around. If you think about all the things that we've got changed, this is a very, I think, PvP orientated buff patch, and not so much on the PvE side. The PvE is going to suffer a little bit, but it's not killed it. Do you know what I mean? It's taken a hit, but I think it kind of needed to balance out the PvP a little bit. I think what they're trying to do is, because if you think about what they've nerfed the Black Prince 10% to come off that. They've reduced the reload on some of the cannons, and they've got rid of brace mitigation. Those three things in PvP are important, because a lot of people run Rigging Station and the Black Prince. They will run food for the damage mitigation, and obviously players who are firing at them used to have a 10-second reload, because the primarily weapon, because of the sail perk, was the long nines. And put all those together, you've got yourself a ship that can't no longer take a beating from. You don't need multiple ships to take another player down who's running that kind of thing with decent food. Now the long cannons reload very quickly, possibly too quickly, I mean, it's only like a second or so slower than the basilisks, and yet they're doing more damage. But then again, you can carry less of them, so the damage in terms of the cannons seems to work out roughly about the same, depending on what ship you've got the cannons on. If you've got like eight, or so the brigantine or the sandbag, for instance, and you've got your cannons on there, you can have 8 cannons per side. But if you go down to well, any of the lower ones, you only get 7 cannons. The snow, not the Padamacane, I don't think that. Yeah, possibly has 7 as well. But the brig does, the bark does, and so does. In fact, the new brig, I think, also has 8. I think that has 4 on the top. So yeah, you have to correct me on that one. So it's not the end of the world, but it is a change nonetheless. So yeah, damage mitigation doesn't seem to be in the game anymore. I can't find it in, well, it's not in any of the foods that I can see. So it's like they've taken that out and replaced it with the brace strength, which is fine, providing you have that shield. And also you need the stamina to apply the shield in the first place. So yeah, so it is a bit more. Well, you've got to basically change your playstyle. You've got to brace more, is essentially what you've got to do, and you've got to make sure you're munching down on the food. So yeah, so I'd be doing an awful lot of that. A thing about the food, let's quickly go, let's just set sail. You're about to go off and do a little plunder.
There! Someone is hoarding all the goods!
Yeah, see, this cutscene is fine because we're coming out of the dock. I don't understand this cutscene when you're out at sea and you've just been sunk. So if we go into our food, it says exactly the same brace strength. There's no hidden there's no hidden thing there. Right, another thing you can do though with your food, because obviously I don't know that a lot of people do it, so we're going to edit that. What we have it on is this one, grilled food only. So anything in your hold that you pick up that's grilled, it will automatically snag it into your for your brace, your stamina, and it won't. It'll just pick a random food out of your thing, and once it's selected it, it'll run that out, and then it'll select the next one, the grilled food that's in your hold. So a lot of the times you'll be running bread, because you pick that up from ships quite a lot, grilled bread, which is quite nice, 45% speed bonus. This works as well with the repair kits, but again, that'll be random. In fact, there may be a thing on it, it may be take the highest or the lowest, but I prefer the control of actually doing them myself. That's why I've got them set out. In fact, that's the advanced ones, they're manual, but there's repair kit 1s, repair kit 2s, repair kit 3s, speed, which is pretty much how I have my quick set up. And then obviously you've got drink, I've got my food there for fighting, and my repair kit for my sails. On the second wheel, it's pretty much, oh yeah, we've got some food down here, travelling food, and more travelling food for getting around fast. I say this one is generally if I'm fighting, and then it's just after that it's fireworks. That's pretty much it for today. I just wanted to update that video, and let's get out of here before they're singing, aren't they? I just wanted to update that video. It needed doing. As part of that is now out of date because it's no longer in the game, so that needed to be done. And it also brought up the admin, some of the bits that I missed, even though that video was kind of spawned out of a couple of questions. And one of them questions, it answered it for everything before, but now we're going to have to find a new way of mitigating the damage, because I do think this is going to possibly hurt the solo player more than anything else, because it obviously soloing ports and things like that, especially with you've got the Black Prince with their slight reduction. On the plus side though, the weapons really do, especially the basilisks, they really are nice to use. I mean, they were nice before, they were one of my favourite cannons, my cannons I use most of the time. They really do pack some damage now, and so do the long nines. The only thing I would say is we're getting through the beasts a lot quicker, and with the new timers, which I'm not a fan of, having to wait around for the new, so if you do the Starry, you do Zama, and then you got to wait half an hour, 20 minutes or so before it pops up again. You can't just go with a fresh mission, or someone else pops in with a mission and it pops up. We can no longer do that. And I didn't really see an issue with that before, because it's not like you could get a chest for every time you sink him. You could just get more teeth or more scales. You only got the chest for when you picked up the mission. On the plus side for that though, I do like that if you do go to a mission and you haven't got it, say a bounty for instance, and you start shooting, it automatically gives you the bounty, so that's nice as well, so you haven't got to keep going back to the mission givers. So yeah, a bit of a mixed bag, that patch last week. I know I saw a few videos, greatest patch ever. Yeah, I'm not so sure. Had some nice stuff in it, but had some sneaky little bits in it as well. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next